Today we have Hanie Razaif-Bohlender, who has been involved in organizational effectiveness, change management, talent and career management, and a full cycle of human resource experience for more than 20 years. She has also been advising corporate leaders on career management, executive personal branding positionings, and executive outplacement. She has helped and advised a lot of people to find happiness and fulfillment in their career journey. All right. And because of this, she's also known as the career doctor, okay, which was the name given by her husband. And today, definitely, we'll be hearing more about what the career doctor is going to share with us.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Anything else you want to add?
Yes, you did. Thank you. No, well, not really. I'm grateful that I've been given this opportunity. Thank you so much to talk a little bit about my work. And well, actually, it's not so much about by my work, but about the trust given by clients. Career management isn't exactly common, I would say. You know, people don't talk about career management, people talk about talent development and all that, but career management is something a little bit special. It's really close to my heart for a lot of reasons, which I'm going to share with you later on. You know, why is this so passionately embedded in the work that I do. So yeah, thanks again for today.
You're very welcome, Hanie. So today, Hanie here is going to bring with us and share with us her experience, her 20 years of experience on 5 big mistakes senior management should not be doing when climbing the corporate ladder. All right, Hanie, very interesting topic. Are you ready to shoot and rock and roll?
Well, I try. Thank you.
Okay.
I see for the past many number of years, I've worked a lot, or rather me and the team, we've worked a lot with senior leaders, you know, from middle managers right up to C-level. And once in a while, we get the opportunity to work with board level as well. And, you know, rising up across the career is a bit of a challenge for a lot of people. You know, in terms of promotion-wise and all that. Sometimes people get promoted for their skills, for long serving, for instance, but no one was really born a leader per se. You know, they get promotional letter, they get their promotion letter today, and the next day they wake up. It's not instant. It needs to be built up towards that role. You can't just wake up, hey, you know, today I'm a leader, yesterday I'm an executive. It doesn't work that way. So based on these past experiences, I would like to highlight a few things that I've observed. Yeah. So there are 5 basic things. It may sound so small, but I think they're not. It has impact all throughout the team, organization, and all that. So what I did was I put down some notes on this 5 items. So here goes. Item 1. A lot of people are dismissing the power of networking. You know, they say, hey, networking, you ought to go for networking, go talk to people, get to know others. But some of us say, you know, I'm an introvert. It doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't like people. I don't like this. I don't like that. Well, I think if one aspires to be a leader or a manager, one of the first things they need to do is to get out there and start networking to people. Start talking to friends, start talking to strangers. For instance, say good morning in the lift. You might never know who you'll be bumping to. And, you know, we can't move along in our career journey with silo mentality. No man is an island, yeah? And what I put here is that a good leader is someone who scans the horizon and strategizes. The minute they go out for networking, they're scanning the horizon, just like a captain in a ship. You know, they go out there, scan the horizon, and strategize. They plan, they ask questions from other leaders. And remember, nowadays, network is net worth. Just like you and I. We've never met in person, but here we are. We've been friends on LinkedIn for so long. You know, and I have this opportunity, and I think that's great. You know, and the higher you go, the more networking you need to do. For example, as a CEO, today you're a CEO, company downsize, you're out of job. Tough luck, man. You can't be rewriting your CV and submitting your CV to job portals. Oh, previous job as a CEO, previous job as a deputy CEO. Today I need a job, I submit it in online. It doesn't work that way anymore. You need that network. You need friends. You need people to validate your skills and experience. So network, 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 network. Always do that. And I think the personal branding ties back well with networking, simply because people need to vouch for you. You can't say, hey, I'm good, I'm pretty, I'm whatever. You need somebody else to vouch that for you. And your network, if you brand yourself well, your network will do that for you. So, you know, word of mouth. So that's one. Number two, I think this is crucial. As we move along our career, we tend to forget that now we have a team. We no longer work for ourselves. So the first contributor is that we work for ourselves and we receive orders from our managers, from our leaders and all that. But we move along and we found out that, oh, now we have a team. But one of the mistakes of a manager who has been promoted is that they're not trained to delegate. So what happened is, if one person in the team who can't do something, the tendency to take it back and do it themselves is so high. How much can a person do lah? You know, and there's no single-handed success in a team anyway. So a manager needs to learn the skill of delegation. There are certain things that they can delegate or have to delegate. Certain other things, they have to take it upon themselves as the manager or the leader. And being a manager or leader, it is your duty to coach, mentor, train, develop, you know, your team members. So therefore, it's a skill again, and I think organizations need to pay a focus on developing these delegation skills. Otherwise, the persons or the managers will be so overwhelmed, not productive at all. So that's number 2. 3, resisting change. Resisting change. People resist change for a lot of reasons. You know, they fear they might lose authority, status. There's no longer job security, for instance. So people resist change for a lot of reasons. But for this context, it might sound small, but resisting change has been in the organization for so long, you know, and sometimes some of them just do not want to change just to prove that the change is wrong. So, you know, the organization change, they say, oh no, I'm not going to follow just to prove that the other people is wrong, that I'm right. And I think that's a formula for a downfall of a manager. People move, things move, that person doesn't move, that's it. When times change, landscape of business change, these kind of people will see themselves being shown the door. The next one is, I think, very crucial. Too comfortable in a specific role with specific knowledge for too long. So comfort zone. I have a friend who was sitting next to me in my class 32 years ago. Okay, so that was during school time. So when we came out from school, other friends have gone out to universities, you know, we travel and all that. She decided to join a bank. 30 over years later, she's still doing the same thing. I don't understand why. So one day over some raya do, I asked her, why are you doing this? And she said, well, you know what? If I accept the promotion, there'll be more responsibilities. Yeah, the salary is okay, but you know, I can't clock out at 5 o'clock, and I can't take my leave, and the responsibility is too great. I have to manage too many people. I think, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, but as a manager who has been promoted uh, for for um, for long service and not having that leadership skills and not wanting to really change themselves, this is not good for the team, especially for the team. They don't see aspiration at all. You know, it's just there. The day just go by and there's no development in the team. So how can you be productive? And that's, I've seen quite a number of this type of people, these kind of resources in an organization, and most likely they will be the first one to go when an organization is doing a downsizing, because that leads to something else, because their skill is no longer relevant after a while. You know, people are going through automation and all that, and that specific skills may not be relevant at all. So therefore, you have to go. So I think resisting change to a point, if you have valid reason, yeah, but we need to embrace change. We need to see what's good, yeah. So number 5, is my all-time favorite point, and that is lacking people skills. And what that means is that some managers, they undermine the human connections and emotions. And I think that instead of calling it soft skills, I like to call it essential skills, because it is so essential. Number 1 about this is that that's the rise of globalization in the business nowadays. You know, you need to manage your team across regions and in their various forms and shapes and cultures, and the lack of people skills will be a big challenge for a manager who does not understand the need for this. For example, the skill of having empathy, listening skills, communication skills, and another one which I call emotional regulation. You regulate your emotion, managing your emotion, being self-aware. You know, you can go off tangent with emotion, screaming and throwing stuff at other people, all the F words. I've seen so many. And as much as they're damn good at what they do, but because of this lack of people skill, the career just go down the drain. I've seen where production team just keep on having the big cycle like a revolving door. And at first, the management thought is those people who's been recruited into that line. But after we came in and did, you know, some conversation, we did quite a number of conversation with the team, with the individuals, and finally the team lead. We found that it's not about the people who come in for work. It's the team lead. Apparently, when he is angry, the F words will come out. All the F words and the B words will come out. How much of insult can you take in a day? You know, so we recommended some changes into his role and replace him with another team lead, and people stay. So sometimes it's not about just the skill. It's everything. And not many people understand this, but is it a skill that you can learn? Yes, it's a skill that you can learn. Sometimes you just have to suck it up and just do it. You know, like listening skills. Not many people listen well. They're not there. They listen because of they want to respond. So yeah, I think these essential skills needs to be taught onboarding during the first 100 days of a new leader, and they need to demonstrate that as well. I think as long as they are non-resistant to change of these new skills, they would be good. And one thing, these essential skills is not something that you can grab and go at Tesco or some supermarkets. You can't just go, oh, okay, I'll have empathy, 1 pack, please. Oh, I'll have some listening skills, 2 cartons of that. You can't do that. It's something that either you have or you need to learn. That's it. So there you go. Five things that I'd like to share today.
Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, so I just wanted to check with you, right, Hanie? Well, the point number 3 drove me quite curious. I have another question for point number 5 or so later. The point number 3,
sure.
which is like resistance to change, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the examples you have encountered yourself? You don't have to mention any particular names of organizations or people, but from your own experience, what do you see? How did it affect the person? How did it affect the organization? When this resistance to change, occurred in them.
Yeah. I see for the past many years, and especially for the past 2 years, we've been involved with career transition. We've take away some of the responsibilities of career transition. Companies are closing down units, teams, companies, and personally, I've been involved in having career conversation in the transition itself, from the executive level, non-executive level, right up to CEOs, and these people, especially for the past 2 years. So there are a few things that I observe in terms of change, resisting change in an individual themselves. There was a company which was a couple of years ago. They have a very niche business in a very niche industry, and obviously a lot of the people in there with the technical knowledge, the subject matter experts, they know that they're good at what they do, technical wise, but the technology has changed, and as much as the global HQ has suggested that they take upon themselves to learn new technology, new skills, for instance, because things change, right? They're very resistant to learning new knowledge, thinking that they're safe because they've been working for so long, 20 years. But then business direction change, and therefore when this happened, they found themselves on the other side of at the end of the stick, realizing that the skills that they have for the past 15, 20 years is no longer relevant, and they have to go.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that resulted in no job.
So from your advice, right, as a career doctor, what would you advise them?
They need to scan the horizon, not just being comfortable with what they have. Continuous learning. Even you and I, for instance, we learn new things on a daily basis. Everybody does some New Year resolution, and with this spark of 2-3 new learnings that you want to do for the year. You know, maybe 4 new things, one every quarter. That's not too much. You know, a couple of hours a month or something like that. Learn new things. And recently, one of the industries that has totally smacked down the whole entire workforce. You know, they were retrenching hundreds upon hundreds, and a few of them actually came to me for career advice. I was surprised when I found out that they're not familiar with things that we thought is common. For instance, spell checker in Word.
All right.
Okay. All right. Excel spreadsheet, you know, it's like, what have you been doing? And they say, oh, yeah, somebody else was doing it. I don't really have to do it. That's not an excuse. It will be useful. New technology, and this is not so new, you know. We're using Zoom for now. Yeah, people know Skype and all that, but if it requires you to learn something new in terms of technology, think a little about it a bit more and decide, okay, I don't know anything about how to use Zoom. What does it do? Just a few days ago, a new client of mine, you know, because I said, hey, you know, we can't go out, so we have to use Zoom session to have our session. And she said, oh, I'm not quite sure. I don't have it. I said, Zoom is so and so. So, oh, she said, it's a thing. It's a thing. So, and mind you, this person is in corporate communication. Figure, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there's so many things to learn. Don't be comfortable.
Yeah. Good points. Good points. And okay, another question for you, right?
Sure.
This one is regarding how, you know, the last point you mentioned, which is the EQ side, or, you know, people management. Yeah. I think people management is the wrong word. It's more on how you relate with people and how it can also cause your downfall if you don't do it properly. Would you like to, like, you know, would you have any experience on with people in that category, and you know, how it didn't work for them, and how what they could have done to make things better?
Yeah, I've seen how this has affected decision making in recruitment. Yes, on the other hand, on top of working with organization in managing career management for their staff, and also, you know, working with individuals to have a great career journey. I've also seen on the other side of the seat where I help organization to devise recruitment process or strategy. And this is very crucial. Everybody who's been considered for a position has some sort of matrix where they've been benchmarked against each other. So if you have 5 candidates, you'll be benchmarked against something similar. So it can be skills, experience, and all that. And you know, if one of the benchmarks is to say, I need a person with a degree of whatever, so everybody has this, an experience of more than 20 years, everybody has this, that left with only 1 or 2 other things to make that decision. Would this person be able to lead a team? But that's a gray area. It's a big question. It's a big question. What does it mean? To lead a team means that you need to have all these soft skills, all these essential skills. Does this person has empathy in his or her veins? For instance, if you're managing an organization global-wide, original-wide, for instance, you know, it comes with all kinds of people in the organization. If we don't have empathy, people will dislike you. People will not following your orders, have no respect you have no credibility in their eyes. You don't know how to communicate. So some organizations, they will ask, so how do we know that this person has empathy? So there's a lot of questions revolving around this issue, right? So how do you define that? How do you know someone has empathy, listening skills, and all of that? So that's where the process is very important. Sometimes you have in basket where simulations are being done, and it involves communicating through emails, on the phone, face to face, scenario-based interview sessions, scenario-based, behavioral-based, and all that. Is this 100%? No, but generally people can only lie so long.
Yeah. Yep.
After a while, they just like, blah, I don't think I can do this anymore. So progressing your career journey is very important. You can learn all these new skills, but this people skill, you need to start early, not when you're there.
Right.
And once you have this, people will see it.
Right.
And I think that's the sweet spot.
Okay. But where can these people learn about people skills? It's not something that you are taught. It's not something that people teach you this in school. They don't teach you this in school, right?
No.
So like, where can they learn this?
No. Okay, obviously, I do not like to say that it's not being taught in school, which I'm sure if we think hard about it, it's being taught in school, at home. For instance, if somebody gives you something, you say, thank you. So that's one. A friend is talking to you, you actually sit down and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to stop everything, stop playing with my phone. I'm going to listen to you. So that's one. Yeah, I think it's self-aware without going for a training. And another example, take proactive approach when somebody is going through hardship. For instance, not be selfish. That's not something that people can teach you, hey, you do this. It comes from here. But of course, throughout the course of the career, you may request for a training because it's a skill. But I suppose as we go higher, there's some finer points when developing this people skill. How to manage the lower rank, how to manage your board members, for instance. So that takes a slightly different approach. You don't talk about menial stuff with certain group of people. You talk strategy, understanding what type of people you're talking to. So again, it comes back to you to have that self-aware, and it's not so much of the organization's responsibility to make sure you keep a track over your career. You have to be proactive managing your career, proactively managing the skills that you want, and take charge. I mean, your soul, your body is like a car. You definitely want to be sitting on the driver's seat, so that you can, go wherever you want, instead of getting people to tell you, hey, go here, go there. So that's my thoughts.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, people skills is something that I think there are a lot of opportunities to have learned this along the way by observing people around you and yourself, even people who are teaching you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here we have another question from one of our viewers. Is actually like, if you have just gone on to some, a management level position, right? How do you actually gain? How do you gain respect from your new juniors? or you know, your new people that are below you who are working with you? How do you do that?
Wow. I suppose first thing is not to brag with your call cards.
Yep.
With your new designation. Hey!
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to connect with you first, and
Right.
that's where you need to have listening skills, the people skills,
Right.
and not try to be above everyone else. So try to make that connection. I think humble is another word. You're there for a lot of reasons. You get the promotion for a lot of reasons, skills and etc. But you are there for a reason. So make use of that strength. But to gain respect means you need to make that connection. Some people give other people some form of respect for different things. You know, a few weeks ago, I was in a facilitation workshop. It consists of some senior leaders of an organization. Quite a number of them were the general managers level, and quite a number of them have been serving in the company for God knows 20 years or something like that. And I thought, this guy, you know, we were sitting in a circle, and there he was. This guy, he was sitting like this and looking at me with the slanting eyes, and you know, trying to assess, can this girl deliver? But you know what I did next to, after the introduction, I actually sat next to him and I said, so how's things today? So I heard that you've been with this organization for 20 odd years. Tell me what you did well and why you stay here. And he just opens up. It doesn't take that much. 5 minutes. Does it create must you take an effort? Yes, it takes an effort to create that, you know, connection and build that trust. It's all about trust. I don't know you from next to Adam, you know, so create that trust.
Awesome. Those are really good tips. So, Hanie, before we come to the end of this, right? Would you like to share a little bit about what you can do for people? You know, you wanted to share a little bit about Dragonfire, and also, you know, what you can do for people as a career doctor.
Okay, sure. Well, George and I, we founded Dragonfire about 8 years ago. So we've been operating for the past 8 years. We're a boutique management consultant where we come in and help organizations to be more efficient. You know, we look at 4 areas: people, process, system, culture. And how does the career doctor fit into any one of these 4 areas? Because career management, it touches all areas, and it comes at any given point of time throughout a talent's life cycle, you know, from coming in to exiting out. So as a company, Dragonfire, we can come in and take a look at that. You know, not necessarily everything, but we'll come in and do a bit of diagnosis. You know, we kind of dissect and ask questions, and then we say, hey, you know what, you're okay with this, but let's work a little bit more around this. And if you have some internal resources, we'll work with them. Otherwise, then you outsource it. So basically, that's how the approach we've been doing all these years. So it might be in terms, you know, change some policy, things like that. Sometimes they can do it themselves, which is fine. You know, we do not want to push. It doesn't work that way anymore. We want partners working together. That's our approach. But being a career doctor, I find that there's a lot of impact to work with people out there, and as I said earlier, you know, the role of me being the career doctor is that I work right across. And I help these individuals, for instance, to find clarity, hopefully happiness and fulfillment in their career journey. If you notice, I didn't say career ladder because we no longer work in a career ladder. It doesn't go that way anymore. We go either cross, either, you know, that way. So this career journey is very important to be clear of hurdles. And sometimes when we're sitting in this journey for like that, we don't see it. It's just like horses with blinkers. We don't see. And it's my role to come in and have that conversation. Sometimes they are tough conversations, and I say, elephant in the room. I want to talk about the elephant in the room. I'm going to talk about some tough things. And they say, hey, you know what, honey, I never thought of it that way. I have not seen it. You know, 16, 18 times going for an interview, they fail. And they say, yeah, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. But, you know, when I came in 5 minutes, I said, you know what? I think I found why you didn't succeed in the first 18 interviews. So let's do this. And so,
awesome.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. So yeah, as a career doctor, you know, I try to fix stuff, but it's not I don't own the conversation. I'm a cheerleader. I try to help them to fix stuff, but the medicine doesn't come from me. I'm just there. So the medicine comes within themselves. You can only lead the horse to water. You can't make them drink.
Yes, of course. Okay, so so as a career doctor, who are the right people who would be able to seek you out, you know, to get guidance from you and use your services?
Okay, good question. A lot of my friends and network thought that only those people without job should come to career doctor. That's not true. That's one. But sometimes when we're in a role for so long and we find that there's no, how do I say, no joy anymore, that's another segment where they need to talk to a career doctor to find that spark again, you know, what's missing. So that's another one. And the other one is if that person have thought about their own career journey, but they're not quite sure what else that needs to be done. Personal branding, for instance. So they need certain areas of development, personal development, professional development, and they don't see it, but they have aspiration to for that role. For instance, in 3 years' time, what do you need to do? That's where I come in and try to help.
So, I mean, basically, like a doctor, you see people when they're, you know, sick in their jobs.
Yeah, sometimes I'll tell them, hey, you know what? The paracetamol doesn't work. I'm not going to give you any medicine whatsoever from the pharmacy. What you need is a change of diet. So I can't tell you what it is. So change your diet, eat less rice or chapati, I don't know. But eat less of this, add more of that. And you know what? A week later, we'll come back and have this discussion. So let's do that. You know, or they say I for a CEO level in the next 3 years, you know, but here I am, we're having this conversation. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Hey, you know what? It'll become a plan, but you will never be yours if you don't change something. And that's a tough conversation.
Right. And at the same time, they also get a chance to have someone to speak to about their career, right?
Absolutely.
You're not alone.
It can be, no, it can be, you know, it can be lonely up there sometimes or down there sometimes. They can't share certain things, concern, conditions, stress, 3 years ago, in fact, until last year, 3 years ago, I had one of the highest spike of clients who came to me with clinically diagnosed depression. About out of that, I had 3 suicidal tendencies, and they're all men, unfortunately. So it was a very sad year for me, you know, as a person who's doing this, because I see a lot of pressure, and they can't talk to anyone. You know, they lost job, they can't talk about their deepest fear with colleagues in case they will be seen as weak.
Yeah.
Well, who do they talk to? Friends will say, "Oh, it's okay. You'll get on with it. You'll be fine." But that's not it. That's not it. And I think, I see changes after that. That creates fulfillment for me. You know, being able to help. So that.
Okay, Hanie. We are closing up soon. Any parting advice you can give to the people out there before we close off?
Just 2 things. Stay safe. Stay home. Don't go anywhere. Okay. I want to go out after these 2 weeks. But what is so amazing is that if anyone doesn't know what Zoom is or Skype is or WhatsApp video, how WhatsApp video works, I think these 2 weeks is a fantastic time to learn all these little functions and, you know, using spell checker.
Okay, thank you very much, Hanie. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
For all the audience here, we can always look up Hanie, check her LinkedIn up. I'll give you her connection, LinkedIn connection right here. And also, if you can't find her, you can always get in touch with me and I'll connect you with her. All right, Hanie, thank you very much. Thanks so much for the great tips that you have given.
Thank you so much for today.
Awesome tips. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.